Small exporters quit the EU market entirely. Now picture that hitting Poland's manufacturing base, plugged into European supply chains, especially automotive and electronics. Then comes investment. Poland has attracted major foreign companies partly because it is inside the EU market. Remove that advantage and the math changes. Investment doesn't vanish, it relocates. To Czechia, to Romania, anywhere still inside. And then the currency risk. Poland uses the zloty, not the euro, but it's tied to European confidence. A Polexit announcement alone could trigger capital flight, rising interest rates, and a currency shock. Britain got hit after the referendum. Poland's buffers are smaller. Finally, migration. Around 1.5 million Poles live and work in other EU countries. Leaving means losing automatic legal access. Even with deals, uncertainty would hit immediately, and remittances that support families back home would shrink.
The economic case against Polexit is not subtle. It's overwhelming.
The geopolitical catastrophe. But economics might not be the worst part, because Poland's geography is not forgiving. Poland borders Belarus, a Russian-aligned state. It borders Russia's Kaliningrad enclave. It is a frontline state on NATO's eastern flank, and since 2022, it has been a primary corridor for supporting Ukraine. Leaving the EU would not be paperwork. It would be a geopolitical earthquake. First, isolation at the worst possible moment. Poland's influence on sanctions, defense spending, and European strategy comes from being inside the room. Outside the EU, Poland loses leverage and loses allies in day-to-day decisions. Second, the Russian calculation. Russian strategy benefits from a fractured West. A Polexit would be a historic win for Moscow, not because Russia suddenly becomes stronger, but because Europe becomes weaker together. Third, legal protections. EU membership gives citizens layers of rights and enforcement mechanisms that are hard to replicate domestically. That matters for civil society and for democratic resilience. And unlike Britain, Poland cannot pretend it can float alone. Britain has a reserve currency legacy, deep global financial weight, a UN Security Council seat, and structural advantages built over centuries. Poland does not get to play that game.